Hello everybody, welcome back. Today is going to be another Will I Buy video. I do these every Sunday. They're about new makeup releases. I tell you guys which ones I want to get and why, and which ones I don't want to get and why. And these videos are inspired by Samantha March. You guys know the drill. But if you're new here and you don't know who I am, well, hello, my name is Anya and I publish makeup related videos here on YouTube. And I constantly talk with my hands because it's more fun that way. But seriously, I publish makeup related videos on YouTube. They range from talking about new makeup releases to talking about the industry to even talking about consumerism in relation to the makeup world as well. I love talking about all things makeup related, of course, but if you're also interested in seeing makeup looks like this one pop up in your feed every now and then, I actually have an Instagram and it's under the username AnichkaMUA, and on that platform I post photos of my makeup looks, and I also post IGTV makeup tutorials on some of my more colorful looks as well. Milani is doing a makeup collaboration with the musical group Salt and Peppa. Now, if you don't know who they are, they're basically a hip-hop group. They've won a Grammy or two, I believe. I don't really listen to their music that much, but I have seen them like on TV and stuff like that. But they are collaborating on this makeup collection right here. So this collection will include a Salt and Peppa Hot, Cool, and Vicious eyeshadow and highlighter palette for $19.99. They also have a Salt and Peppa Very Necessary eyeshadow and highlighter palette for $19.99. And then they have a few lip kits for $11.99 each, and each one of these lip kits will include a lip liner and a lipstick. Now, see, my take on this is that this is obviously a collection that's quite 90s themed, and it's also based a lot on nostalgia, and you guys know that I'm not going to get this. I mean, you probably already know this if you watch my channel a lot. I usually don't subscribe to nostalgia, and I also usually don't necessarily want to get palettes that have face products and eye products mixed in together. That's not necessarily my style. And I will say this, that like taupey lip color looks very, very interesting, but do I actually want to go out of my way to actually get that product? No. This is like a very, I think, out-of-the-box collaboration. I like how they've done the packaging. I think it's very creative and very on theme. I really like that because it looks like a lot of effort was put into this collection. I mean, to me it does anyway. But do I actually want to get it? No, so this is going to be a pass. I'm very picky, as all of you know. Wet n Wild is collaborating with Breton Rock. So this is going to be called the Jungle Rock Collection, and this will include an eyeshadow palette for $14.99, a lip gloss for $4.99 in quite a few shades, and a loose highlighter duo for $7.99, and a 3-in-1 face mist for $7.99. And then they also have mascara and brushes. I am looking at this and I'm like, okay, this is cool. This is cool looking. I like the purplish lip gloss that they have there on the far right. The eyeshadow palette looks actually quite intriguing. I will say that. It's like not quite a rainbow palette, but it's still like a very beautiful, like exactly like tropical themed palette without looking too basic. Here is where I'm kind of like sort of faltering in my desire to get this collection. I don't necessarily think that any of this is particularly inspiring to me. And I only want to get makeup if I'm looking at it and I think, oh my goodness, I'm so inspired by that. That's so cool. I don't have anything like this in my collection. And honestly, I probably have like a certain like amount of everything here, you know? And even with the loose highlighter duo, these are, yeah, the loose highlighter duo, I can only really wear only half of that highlighter duo, and that's it. The other half is like a really beautiful, deep, shimmery product, and it would work great as a highlighter for deeper skin tones, but for me personally, I cannot wear that. So I think it would have been better if they had maybe like ditched the duo concept and maybe come out with like two singles in two very different shades. I think that would have been a little bit better. With the lip glosses, I don't really see anything I need to critique with the lip glosses. I really like those lip glosses. The only reason I'm really not drawn to them is because I already have similar shades. The face mist, I already have so many face mists that I'm not even done with in my collection already. I don't need more face mists. I just don't. And also the eyeshadow palette, I already have the ability to dupe so many colors in this eyeshadow palette. So this is going to be a pass. Also, we have a new concealer by Beauty Blender. This is called the Bounce Airbrush Liquid Whip Concealer, and this is supposed to be a weightless, full coverage concealer that uses hyaluronic acid and peptides to create a smooth, undetectable finish. Full coverage with a natural finish in 40 shades for $26 each. Honestly, this shade range does not look that good. It's like a range, but it's not necessarily a good one. Beauty Blender came under fire, I think it was last year or the year before that, for coming out with a foundation with a very, very bad shade range, and everybody was critiquing them for that, quite deservedly so. And I don't know if they're going to come under the same fire for this, because I don't know if this is like better or worse. I'd have to refresh my memory on that, but this is, in my mind, not the best shade range whatsoever. You have so many very, very, very light shades, and then you have almost no, in comparison at least, medium to deep shades. It's very lacking in terms of a range. Yes, you have 40 shades, but it's not a range. It's very lacking, and I don't like that. Plus, I don't really need concealers anyway, so this is going to be a pass. There is another limited edition collection. This time, this is going to be a Disney-themed collection with Catrice. Now, this collection will include 2 eyeshadow palettes, nail polish brushes, and a matte liquid lipstick. Is this a collection that I'm inspired by? No. No. Like, not at all. Like I said before, I do not subscribe to nostalgia. That's not what gets me excited about makeup. What gets me excited about makeup is knowing that I can use that product for however long I want, knowing that I can be inspired by that product for however long I want. And if I'm looking at a piece of makeup and I'm like, I'm definitely not going to be inspired by it, so I'm not even going to consider getting it. So this is definitely emblematic of that. That purplish, neutralish eyeshadow palette looks sort of like interesting, but like, am I interested? Am I interested in it? No, I'm not. And nail polish, I don't like wearing nail polish. It's like a thing. So Jeffree Star has launched his new collection, and there's a lot of stuff in here. So first, there is the Bloodlust palette, and this is supposed to be a continuation of the Blood Sugar concept, except that this is the Bloodlust palette for $54. He also has a Queen Bitch velour liquid lipstick set. These are like a whole bunch of minis for $52. An Extreme Frost highlight in Choking on Ice for $50. And then he also has a few glosses for $18 and some accessories that we're not going to get into because this is not what this channel is about. I was actually considering doing a redesign of this palette, and honestly then I saw his reveal video and I decided against it because the way that he swatches them, or the way that these shadows appear to swatch, they look beautiful. They look beautiful. The glosses also look really pretty. The highlight, not too interested in that because like that is literally $50 worth of highlight. Not interested in buying that. The velour liquid lipsticks, I don't need any more liquid lipsticks to add to my collection, so that's going to be a pass as well. And I think that you guys can probably already discern that pretty much, like, because I'm not like a huge fan of Jeffree Star and his actions and like just his like existence in general, I'm not going to get this. And that's not necessarily, I feel like I have to explain myself. That's not necessarily because I'm like, I want to boycott him. I want to like make a point. No, it's more like I've had to backtrack and think about where I want my money to go in terms of makeup spending. You guys know that I actually don't spend a lot of money on makeup. I rarely buy makeup, if at all these days. I'm not on a low buy. I'm not on a no buy. That's just how I am. So when I want to spend money on makeup, since I don't necessarily allocate a lot of money to spend on makeup, I want to make sure that my money is going towards a brand or a product that I feel strongly in a positive way about. So Jeffree Star Cosmetics has not met that criteria. This is not the only brand, but this is definitely one of the brands I don't see myself getting anything from anytime soon for that reason. This eyeshadow palette, though, looks beautiful. Looks beautiful. Are there some things in here that I would change if this was my palette? Oh, yeah. But I feel like if I did own this palette, I'd be able to create a lot of looks. Not that I want to own this palette, but if I did, I would get my use out of it. Okay, so Overall Cosmetics has 2 eyeshadow palettes coming out. These are 2 5-pan palettes. Now, I actually really like these palettes. That monochromatic purple one is really calling my attention. I hesitate to say that I'll get this because I'll probably not. because it's not calling my name that much. This does look very inspiring, and I've actually like sort of like come to the realization that having like very small curated monochromatic palettes can in some ways sort of like decrease your ability to create a whole bunch of looks with that palette. Yes, you can pull from other palettes, but generally when you're going for a monochromatic palette, I feel like it's a little bit different because a lot of times I personally rely on a palette's color story to inspire me. And a lot of times with monochromatic palettes, it doesn't work in the same way. That's just something that I've noticed. But I feel like these are monochromatic palettes done really well. You still have like a very clear and concise color theme, but at the same time the shades are varied enough so you can get a lot of depth and variation in your looks. So I do like that a lot. So these are going to be $32 each. They're pretty. Let's move on to this monstrosity. The comment section on this release is absolutely hilarious. It's funny. Tom Ford is basically launching the Shade and Illuminate Soft Radiance Foundation with SPF 50, and it has medium to full coverage with three-dimensional radiance that reflects soft light. It's fade-resistant, moisturizing, nourishing, and it's a protecting formula that contains a blend of advanced elastomers. Do you know what that is? I certainly don't. And light diffusing powders to create the perfect radiant surface. They have like a whole paragraph of benefits to this foundation. You want to know why? It's because this foundation is $150. $150 for a foundation. Am I surprised because it's Tom Ford? No. But I'm still kind of like, they did that. They actually did that. You can also get the Shade and Illuminate foundation brush for $100. Question of the day. Would you rather spend $150 on a foundation or $100 on a brush? That's the question. That's the $150 question, my friends. I will say this though, it looks like, from what I can tell, it looks like they are really being quite inclusive with the shades. You do have 39 shades, and a lot of luxury brands don't necessarily take the time, or they're a little bit too lazy and antiquated to do a good shade range, but they seem to have really done a good job on the shade range. However, it's $150. I have mixed opinions. Do I want them to lower the price? Honestly, no, because this is Tom Ford, and Tom Ford at this point, they're known for ridiculous prices when it comes to makeup, and there are going to be people that buy this sort of thing because not everybody is a broke college student like this person. Colorpop is, they were launching some new luxe glosses for Valentine's Day. You can have a sheer to medium coverage depending on the finish, and they're not sticky. So yeah, my friends, these are the glosses. They're really pretty. They're really pretty. They're kind of orangey, and I don't really go for that myself. But do I want to get them? No, because Colorpop is a little bit like they're a little bit much right now. A little bit much. They're launching a little bit too many releases, and honestly at this point it's all starting to blur together, and I don't know how to differentiate between the releases because at this point they all look the same. For crying out loud, this could very well be a repackaged version of another Colourpop product, but we don't remember what it is because they come up with new things every single week. It's just a little bit much. LC Cosmetics is launching this lip treatment that basically is supposed to leave your lips soft and plush. So this is like a lip balm in a tube, and if you look at the swatches, I'll put the swatches below the actual picture, but if you look at the swatches, you have like just like a hint of color, and honestly, I love that in a lip product. Like my favorite day-to-day lip products would be either a gloss, a lip balm, or like a very, very sheer lipstick. I actually own like a few lipsticks that are super sheer, and I love them because they give you just a hint of color. So when someone's looking at your lips, they're like, ooh, does she really have rosy lips? I think so. I think that's completely natural, which is always a good thing. But yeah, this is going to be $24. You can get the trio for $68. Not bad. But honestly, I already have so many lip products. I don't really need any more. So this is going to be a pass. Ooh, Armani. That was terrible. Armani is coming out with some concealers. So this is going to be the Luminous Silk Concealer. I cannot wait to see the hype or lack thereof surrounding this product because everybody really likes the Luminous Silk Foundation. The Luminous Silk Foundation. I've heard a lot of good things. Am I ever going to try it? No, because it costs an arm and a leg. But I'm curious to see people's opinions on this. Am I interested in a concealer right now, though? No. And it is not because I don't actually need concealer, because honestly, like, my skin, it's bad. It's not good. I mean, look at that. You know, it's not, like, terrible. This is, like, my skin when it's actually good. My skin is not the best, to say the least. So technically I need concealer, but do I actually want to apply it to my face? No. Do I actually want to wear it all the time? No. Do I want to bother with it? No. Do I want to buy more concealers? No. So this is definitely going to be a pass. Moving on though. Ooh, this is cool. Okay, so M Cosmetics is one of those brands that whatever they come out with, I'm kind of like, oh, that's interesting. Even though for some of their products, I wouldn't necessarily be interested in that launch if it was coming from any other brand, but because I love Michelle Phan, because I love the aesthetic of M Cosmetics, I just naturally gravitate towards anything that they have nowadays, which is not healthy. Not a healthy mindset to be in. What was that accent? I don't know. But this is the Faded Clementine Glow Radiant Veil Blush. It's pretty, okay? And I feel like this would be like the perfect like blush product, but highlight product too. I could wear it and it would be like bronzy and glowy and beautiful. I'm feeling so much FOMO right now. If there's one thing I could get in this video, I'd probably get this. I'm not gonna lie. It's calling my name. But am I gonna get it? No. Because at some point, I'm gonna remember that I already have so many blushes in my collections. I already have so many highlighters in my collection. And do I need that anymore? No. Because I've barely made a dent in my collection as it is. It's a problem. House Laboratories. They're coming out with the Le Monster Matte Lip Crayon. And in the swatches, like, you see like the hand models do like the monster hand. Very on theme. But here's my thing. I was watching one of Julia Mazzicato's videos today, and she was talking about some of the worst makeup releases of 2019. Sorry, let me just adjust my footing so I can be a little bit more comfortable. She was talking about the worst makeup releases of 2019, and she actually mentioned House Laboratories, and she talked about how since Lady Gaga is so, like, Lady Gaga, she expected that they would come out with something that's a little bit more, like, revolutionary or interesting, but really that was the complete opposite. They've just come out with like products that are actually quite uninspiring, and after watching that video, it's kind of like, huh, that's actually true. I love Lady Gaga, don't agree with like the Amazon affiliation whatsoever, I hate that, but then I realized something deep, dark, and awful. I actually have been making excuses for like a little bit about House Laboratories because of my bias with regards to Lady Gaga, because I like Lady Gaga so much. I've been making excuses as to the like actual idea of House Laboratories. You know what I mean? House Laboratories, objectively, when you just look at the brand, it's actually kind of boring. I will say that it's really quite boring. They're not doing anything new. They're just like essentially repackaging concepts that have already been done by other brands, and they're not even doing it in like a cool way. So I'm not inspired by House Laboratories right now. I'm really not. And this is like such a basic launch. Like lip crayons, we've already all been through the lip crayon phase. Is it coming back? I don't know. It might be. But is it something that I want to see from House Laboratories? Not necessarily. And it's just so like, it's just not cutting it for me. Like, I'm just not interested. So those are all the makeup launches that I wanted to talk about for this week. Definitely a lot of roasting, as is the custom here on this channel at this point. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it interesting. Hopefully it inspired you to shop your own stash a bit. This is what I do all the time, and it's keeping me happy at the moment until I decide to go and get more makeup, but we'll see when that happens. But thank you for spending your time here with me today, and I will see you all in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys.